I think they're excited about getting to play each other in front of a great crowd and officials, the whole 9 yards, dressing on. We treat it just like it's a game, so we'll do the same pregame warm-up that we normally do. Guys out on the field, centers, kicks, all those things. So the fact that the last 2 years we've had unbelievable crowds. So hopefully, if we can get something that's close to what we had the last 2 years, they get excited about it, and then the fact that they're competing with each other, and it's the last time they'll get a chance to compete from a football standpoint until we get back for fall camp. So the rest of it's workouts over the summer and things on their own, but it's got a little bit different atmosphere, I think.
For you guys, it's kind of your last chance to see him out there until August too. I mean, in terms of an evaluation period, but also just a chance to see him go at it. I mean, how special is this for the staff?
It is, and it's a tape we spend a lot of time on after the game. In the coming weeks, I know guys will take it with them because we got to go right on the road recruiting, but everybody will get a chance to really take a good, long, hard look at it and make some final evaluations on kind of where we're going to be as we head into August. But it is the last real valuable teaching tool we have, and in the last real evaluation we have. So it's pretty big for the coaches as well as the players. So.
Coach, how do you like spring games turning over the coaching to your coordinators?
We love it. Our guys are competitive. Obviously, offensively, we all cooperate in terms of our game plan with myself and Helf and Wood and Scotty and Oz and Cam, and then defensively, Nick and those guys have always called it, so it's not like I'm turning the defense over to anybody. They've been calling it since I've been here. So they like it, though. You split those guys up, and Helf's on one side, and Wood and Scott and Oz are on the other side. So it gets a little competitive, and they get fun. They can they're competitive guys too. So there'll be some trash talking or some understanding that hey, we beat you last year, and they take a little pride in that. So
does a good game help a guy more than a bad game hurts a guy?
Does a good game help a guy more than a bad game? Is it a riddle? I don't know the answer to that one. I would have to. Can I Google?
Phone a friend.
I don't know. No, we don't put more stock to that question than any other real situation that we've had, officials at and all those other things. So, I don't think it carries a little bit more weight, and I've seen it sometimes. Everywhere I've been in the spring game, some kid that no one knows about all of a sudden just goes off and everybody's like, he's the next greatest, but it may just be a situation where because of an injury at that position or something, he got a lot more reps than he should have been getting, and he capitalized on it. But I think everybody can benefit from it. I don't think it's really going to hurt anybody. So,
what do you like most about the spring game?
I like what we do. I think that the game is obviously it's a tribute to the military and the police personnel in this town, obviously in light of what happened last year, just about a year ago at this time with Officer Kilcullen, to honor those people that make the ultimate sacrifices for us so that we can live our lives the way we do. And I think our kids understand that, and they really enjoy, running out of the tunnel with the military people, the interaction that we have with them in the locker room after the game. A lot of our players have continued to stay in touch with those guys because some of the people that they get matched up with or they meet or that they give their jersey to, they actually keep in touch with them after they get deployed. When we had a guy come back last year that Carson York knew that came back after and came to visit us at one practice and talked to us about his deployment in Afghanistan. So I think kind of puts things in perspective. And then the fact that, our fans can contribute, in just it seems like a small way, but, last year I think the number was we raised 67,000 pounds of food for Lane County, and that's another way for us to give back in a positive manner, and that's what I think I like the most about it is the interactions that we have with the fans and the way we can contribute to the community and to the military.
When you sit down and evaluate guys, how much is based on the 3 weeks leading up to the spring game and the actual spring game if you had to quantify it?
It's all the same. We tell them every day is an evaluation. Every day counts. And I'd have a problem with a kid that didn't do very well for 14 days and then all of a sudden turns it on the 15th day because they don't understand what this program's all about. It's about a consistent effort on every single day. And so everybody counts and every day counts, and that's what I think is important to our guys. We may have some guys like that, and then the only thing I tell them is if they had a better spring game than they had than their practice leading up to it, then now we have a standard that we're going to hold you to. This is what you're capable of doing, and now I need to see that on a consistent basis because our evaluations are as we talk about all the time, the best ability is dependability. Can I count on that guy, or are we going to get him? Sometimes he cranks it up, and then other times he doesn't. We need to make sure that we get him out of that mold where it's an up and down thing. It's more of a consistent thing on a daily basis. So.
Does playing in front of 50,000 and on TV and a little bit of pressure environment help evaluate? Did you take into account how they do in this type of atmosphere?
Yeah, obviously it's a different situation, and I think even last year, 2 years ago we had 25,000, and everybody was like, wow. And then last year, 43,000 people showed up, and they were like, I think our kids, you know, when they came out of the tunnel, you could see some kids looking around and go, wow, there's that many people that are here for a spring game, and I think it gives them an understanding of what it's going to be like, you know, to play in front of a crowd. And a lot of our young kids, it's hard because my first game coaching, I remember talking to Brady Leaf, and it was the Friday before the game. He's like, have you ever been here for a game? And I was like, no. And I remember looking around the stands. I said, it can't be much different. But when you get people in Autzen Stadium, it's a special place. And I think that feeling you get running out of the tunnel and the passion that our fans have, it's a pretty cool thing to do. And which kids are caught in the middle of the game kind of looking up in the stands going, wow, that's a pretty cool environment. Well, guess what? Someone just ran by you. There's a game actually going on. So I think it's a good situation to put those guys in.
Is there a spring game playbook, or is it the same?
No, it's basically the same thing, you know, and I think each staff understands what they have on their team, so they should be playing to the strengths of their group, but there's not a spring game playbook or anything like that. So
The NFL draft starts tomorrow. Have you talked to any of your former players about this coming
I saw
weekend?
LaMichael yesterday before he took off, and I, you know, David Paulson's been around a little bit. I saw Darren last week. He was working out in the Mashowski Center with LT2A. You know, I know they're all kind of excited about it. I would think it's, never having gone through it, but it's got to be a nerve-wracking time because it's not an instant thing. I mean, it takes, and they've spread it out over 3 days now. So, you know, the tough part for some of those guys is if you don't go, you know, on the first night, you got to go to sleep and wake up the next day and see if you get drafted. If you get drafted on the next night, now it's a 3-day wait. Where before it used to be a daily thing. But, you know, I'm excited to see where some of those guys show up, and you know, I think they all deserve a shot. And I think they're going to make good professionals, but it's just a matter of, but all it takes is that they know it is for one team to like them. So.
Did you guys finalize the rosters yet?
We got to go in and talk to trainers, and then we should, I think, hopefully, I'd like to release. I told Dave we'd like to get up by 1 o'clock, so you guys will have everything by hand by 1. So.
Is there anyone not available?
I don't know that total answer now. There's a couple guys that I know that aren't available, but like Carson York's not available. But, you know, what's the final thing from that we'll get from our training room? There were a couple kids that went through today, and it was a wait-and-see thing. So we'll finalize and get it all up by 1 o'clock. So.
I assume you'll probably have more answers on Saturday, but what answers were you able to get through spring drills as of today?
I don't think we weren't looking for answers. You know, we were just looking for improvement because, again, we don't have a game until September 1st, and, you know, we're not even at May 1st yet. So there's a lot of time between now and then. And again, the whole thing is, hey, we got an answer, and it's this guy, and I'm excited. And then he goes down in the summertime with an injury, and now, well, he's out of the mix. So now we got to replan it. So our game's not played till September 1. So we'll wait till September. You know, not September 1. I think hopefully we'll have a starting lineup before September 1. But we got a lot of time. It was just, do we get improvement? And I'm happy with, you know, kind of what our effort's been like, how we've really practiced consistently. But there's still some positions where we don't have a lot of veterans coming back. That those will be the big, I think, question marks. But that'll go through until we get into preseason camp in August.